Hey guys, how you doing? It's Art from Art's Model Trains. So I'm back with part 2 of the O54 layout expansion. So in the last video, I talked about how I did the track down the back side of the table. As you can see now, the table's a mess, but I built out the front side of the table. So let's get you guys off the stand. I'll take you through what I did and talk to you about some of the problems I'm going through right now and some of my next steps to get stuff sorted out. Okay, so let's start off where the last video kind of ended. The last video I had this O54 switch put in, and as you can see here, just temporarily I've positioned the O54 track all the way around. And what I did was I added about, I guess it's 10 inches of table down this end of the layout. Just framed it off of the existing table and extended it out. And this is just, I used a 1/2 inch MDF for this wood here. Easy to work with, but it's a real mess. It makes a really fine dust all over when you cut it. And carrying down, and you can see I just temporarily wired up some of the track here. Got to do all the power drops and everything. And down here, I've actually brought the table out a full 12 inches. This gives this depth to this table full 5 feet. And the reason why I did that was because of this O54Y right here. This is where the track is going to leave to go off to the new section of the layout that I'll build later this year in this corner. It'll be a loop of track, approximately O48. And then down here, as you can see, the backside, I have the cork and everything all finished back here, and then it's all temporary coming through here to this O54 switch. Just so you guys can see how I did this, I just, like I said, added some 2x4s at the end of the table there and some blocking underneath, and then just kind of connected the boards across. That's actually the extension from the last time the table was out. I just reused that piece of wood. And again, just continued along with the same kind of board. And you'll see there's another 2x4. Actually, if I go underneath here, you'll see another 2x4 extending off the old table there. So, you know, giving it plenty of strength. And you can see I kind of put some blocks along the way there. Plenty of strength, nice and solid, no issues. And once again, I used that MDF board, which was really easy to work with. So once I got this up and running, it tested it out with a few different engines. It was fantastic. I tested it actually with some post-bore stuff and some MPC stuff, and it ran great. So then I pulled out one of my new legacy engines and ran that around the track. And let me talk to you guys about a couple of things I've found so far. So before I get too far into the details of what issues I'm having, let me just tell you, as you can see, the table is not finished. There's no cork roadbed under the front end of the track here. So I believe some of my issues will be resolved once I put cork roadbed and screw down all the track permanently. But for now, here's a couple of things that I've noticed. So down this end of the layout is an O54 Gargraves switch. So I went with 2 54 Gargraves switches and one O54 Ross switch. I probably should have gone with all Ross switches in hindsight. My legacy engines, when they come through here, are actually picking, let me see if I can get the camera at the right angle here, are actually picking this off the rail here. And what's happening here is the outside drive wheels are continuing straight, and the inside rails obviously hang in here, and that is causing the locomotives to derail. It's only happening with my legacy steam locomotives. My diesels work fine. MPC era steam engines, fine. Post-bore diesels have had no problems. So, like I said, I think some of that's going to get resolved. I have checked this track. You can see the level sitting there. The table and the track right now, even temporarily, the way it's laying, is completely level. But I'm assuming that there's something that's not obvious to me, causing the issue. I am going to try to grind down that point a little bit with a Dremel and just see if that helps a little bit. And then, like I said, once I get it screwed down, I'll see if this track just needs to be ripped out and replaced with a Ross switch. The other issue I'm having is with this switch down here, but it's not with every train and it's not with every car. It's one car so far. This car right here, the baggage car to my Challenger passenger set. And what's happening is the rear wheels here are actually coming off the track right here as it goes around. And it's interesting, it's about the weight of the train. If I run that as a true baggage car first in line, it derails. If I put this exact car at the end of the train, no issues. So I think it's about the weight of the train that it's pulling and the way it's pulling on the wheels that's causing it to derail. Once again, without everything screwed down and only temporarily laid here, I'm going to wait to mess around with this until I put the rest of the cork in and screw down the rest of the track. But those are just some of the fun things you have to deal with when it comes to laying down Gargraves track, or I'm assuming Ross and other types of track, versus fast track, which is relatively bulletproof because it has that road bed built into it. So it's very sturdy, very level when you put it down on a table. So let's talk about some of the next steps. So as you can see, I've got the temporary track plan laid out here, and obviously the table is all constructed. There's a few little pieces here and there I have to sand out and just shave back with a saw, but everything is in place right now. So my next plan, or my next step, excuse me, is to paint all of this. So I paint my table green. It's what my father did when I was younger, so I just kind of mirror him. Paint the table green, and then I'll be able to glue down the cork road bed and go ahead and put all the permanent wiring in. And then I'll be able to start doing the scenery and everything else. So I'm really looking forward to that. And as you can see here, it really just looks great. And the one thing my son and I really like is if you look from this angle of the table, first of all, you have a nice long straight run, but also it adds so much more depth to the front of this table that there's more room. It just makes the layout feel more spacious, less crowded. I have toyed around with possibly doing something in this upper loop, making this a little bigger. But right now I'm just concentrating on getting the lower loop up and running, and then we'll make further adjustments in the future. So thanks guys for watching. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again next time.